Welcome back to another episode of Stauffer Garage, guys. Today's detail is of a 328i BMW that has never been deep cleaned like we do on this channel. So we're gonna make this whole interior look like brand new again at the end of this video. And I wanna make sure, are you guys subscribed? Do you have notifications turned on? That's all that matters. I also wanna mention, guys, that we are so close to 1 million subscribers, and when we hit that milestone, which never thought it was possible, but it's all thanks to you guys, I want you guys to comment below. Do we need to do a $5,000 cash giveaway? Do I need to give away a car, or should I give away a load of detail and supplies? You guys let me know in the comments below what you want to see, because it's all thanks to you for being followers, helping support and make this channel possible. So let's get going. Now, first order of business is always to remove any of the large objects or particles from the car that the shop vac will not be able to suck up. And then it's time to remove the seats from the vehicle. And when you remove the seats, make sure they're reclined in a fashion that makes them easily accessible outside of the vehicle once you've disconnected power. And that also reminds me, make sure you remove the negative terminal from your battery before you disconnect your seats. And this is exactly why I like to remove the seats, is because this area and this staining that you see here would not be able to be cleaned if it wasn't for removing those seats.
Those medical pills are push me over. I give my fill 3 times a day.
Now it's time to bust out the vacuum cleaner and get all of those carpets ready for extraction.
One flame to take the pain away. I caught you lighting matches in the back room. Haters look mad when they pass you. Let's talk about around when it's past due. Reach a glass, do no. You don't gotta fight alone. You don't gotta fight alone.
This is also a good opportunity to vacuum the rear seats as well as the front seats when they're outside of the vehicle to make sure that they're ready for when you start doing the leather cleaning later on. One thing I'm hoping for, guys, is to start doing some more BMW, Porsches, Mercedes, all those sorts of high-end vehicles. I'm hoping to get a few more of those details on Stauffer Garage as well. So if you guys live in Columbus and you have a vehicle that is one of those brands or a higher-end car in general, let me know, because I love doing the disaster details, but doing some different cars is also nice as well.
But we still wake up and go to sleep. Everyone's seen death in their dreams. But we still wake up from
Now, one commonly missed spot that people do not clean on a regular basis is in the spare tire area. And you don't have to do it every single time you wash your car or clean out your interior, but doing it once a month to make sure there's no debris that kind of collects inside the wheel well, making sure your spare tire has adequate pressure in case you ever have to replace one of your tires, and also just checking the condition of your battery if it is in the trunk in this specific case for any corrosion is also a nice thing to do.
you don't gotta fight alone. Don't be so personal.
Now, with the spare tire well completely vacuumed and ready to go, it is now time to tackle that rear carpet, which once I have the vacuuming done, it's time to bust out my solution for carpet cleaning, spray and pre-treat it, and then use my drill brush to agitate the fibers and my extractor to suck up all of the dirt and grime that has been caked into this carpet.
can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.
I was actually surprised with how much dirt this thing was holding in, and as you can see from this extractor pour, it was quite juicy.
It gets tough just breathing. I'm alone, but I'm still feeling like someone's with me. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me, like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there.
Now for the passenger side floor, I'm going to do the exact same process, but I'm going to try to let this soak for a little bit longer just due to the fact that the stains have set for a long period of time. These stains have actually been there since the previous owner bought the car. So I'm letting them soak in. Now when it comes to the carpet stains, a lot of these have been there since the previous owner bought the car a long time ago. Because they have set, it makes it really difficult. So always set expectations when you're working on a car like this to let the customer know that you're going to do your best to remove all of the stains, but some of the ones, like you can see here, some of them are from rust. Some of them are going to be harder to remove.
Time is unfair, 'cause I know you're out there somewhere, patient, waiting unaware, feeling like your grip might slip too soon. But I'm running, chasing speed and gunning. I'll be right there all of a sudden. I feel your heartbeat lead me straight to you. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me. It's like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drifting to places I should leave, so close to the edge.
And one thing to mention, that if you're doing this yourself, having a nice extractor like I have, or even a smaller unit, is useful, but if you have a wet and dry vac, you can accomplish the same thing as here. One of the nice things about these units is, one, they're dedicated, but two, you can see a lot of the dirt coming through the extractor head. But if you have a wet dry vac, you can accomplish the same task.
Can't find a reason why. Can't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Can't get any closer.
Now I did the carpets first, which means that they were the lowest portion of the vehicle, but because they have an extended period of time that they need to dry, I always try to get those out of the way first, and then if I have to do a subsequent vacuum at the very end, at least it is dry before I return to the customer.
Can't get any closer. Try to forget all that we had. I'm rolling like water in the sea. The memories crashing into me. So close to the edge of something so worth it. You have the world right at your feet. It almost is over.
Now for the door panels and the interior, I'm going to be using my bristle brushes from foxclean.com and my all-purpose cleaner. I do want to say that those brushes are finally back in stock. This whole Corona thing has thrown a wrench in suppliers and manufacturing of all my components, but the brushes are back in stock, and so are Lily brushes. So if you guys want to pick up a set, head on over to foxclean.com. I have a link in the description box for you guys to check it out. When it came to the center console and then also the shifter and the dashboard trim around that area, it appears that this was spray painted by a previous owner, so when I was using my all-purpose cleaner, it was actually causing some peeling of the paint that was sprayed onto it. That is why you'll see some of the texture differences on the inside of these consoles. So I let the owner know that this was something that was happening in case he wasn't aware. So for this armrest, it was kind of past a point of no return, and at this point this needs to be completely rewrapped or replaced because the leather wasn't as dirty as I was thinking. It was actually just completely deteriorated into the point where it was super thin and dried out, that at this point it just needs to be replaced or re-dyed or recolored. And like the center console, there was certain parts of the steering wheel that were in the same position. They were just so worn down that the actual leather wrap portion of it was so worn through that it would need to be replaced or re-dyed at this point. Now for the air vents, I use the steam cleaner heavily because one, it gets into all the different areas that are harder to reach with a brush, but also the steam will infiltrate the entire AC system, killing any mold, bacteria, viruses, or anything like that, just using water.
Does the beat take you over? You just can't breathe. Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the
And if you didn't know, steam actually works really well in paint as well as a non-chemical based cleaner. There are some machines that are specific for washing an entire car with just steam, so the amount of water runoff is pretty much non-existent. Now for the leather seats, I'm using a leather cleaner in my softer drill brush because it's less abrasive. And I kind of show you here a side-by-side comparison with how dirty the seats were. They weren't extremely dirty, but you can definitely tell a side-by-side difference between the clean side and the dirty side.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe. There's a reason I can feel my heart stop beating, and the air gets tough just breathing. I'm alone, but I'm still feeling like someone's with me. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me, like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there.
And then once the seat's clean, I'm using my leather conditioner. Now, at certain points in the detail, I will admit that I do get sidetracked sometimes, and this is no exception here, where I busted out my heat gun, and since I didn't get to wash the outside of the car, the trim was so faded that I had to address it. It just was bothering me so much. So if you have faded trim on your car, you can actually use a heat gun to bring the oils and the different dyes back to the surface of a plastic to restore it back to new. Just word of caution, make sure you go extremely slow. You're far enough away that you're not causing any of your paint to bubble or your clear coat to bubble. It's a really delicate process, but if you take your time, anybody can do it.
Chasing speed and gunning, I'll be right there all of a sudden. I feel your heartbeat lead me straight to you. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me. It's like chasing.
Now back to the inside of the car, it's time to clean and condition the rear seats. So I want you to make sure you hit subscribe down below and turn on notifications because 1, it's what makes this channel possible, and 2, it ensures that you do not miss out on any new videos that come out each week.
Why do I feel like I linger between the...
Now for the windows, I'm using invisible glass and a clean microfiber towel, and I'm making sure that I'm rolling down the window to get that top edge lip before I clean the rest of the window on the inside and the outside.
your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. We lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go.
Now for the rear window and the windshield, I'm using my invisible glass reacher arm tool. I have it linked down below. It's actually one of those tools that I've grown to love a lot, especially for these two windows, because of how much leverage you can get. Plus you're not making yourself do acrobats in the front and the rear to get those clean. I think the rear window is probably the worst. You guys let me know what you think in the description box below. Is it the rear window or the front windshield that's harder to clean? And here are the after shots. The owner was extremely happy with how this car turned out. And I know times are hard right now with how everyone's on quarantine, but I want you guys to know that no matter what you do in life, hard work pays off. And with these details and all the work that I put into them, I just want you guys to know that if you put the work in, you guys can do this too. It's not like I'm this master guru of detailing. I want these videos to help show you that anything is possible and that you guys can do this too. You don't have to have all the fancy tools in the world to do it. You just put in the effort, put in the hard work, and you guys will get end results as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and keep on detailing.